Double check. Double check, testing. Yeah, we good.
All right, Shalom. Yes, we are the first and foremost. We want to give all glory
to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakodash.
Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. All right, among the heathen that look like the heathens, and to the few aquaf that are listening and learning. All right, we give you a truthful and hearty shalom. You see the topic, yeah, it's hot, but we are not Jewish. We are the Israelites, okay? Yeah, the word, you gotta remember that letter J was newly constructed. Someone could get that there was some Italian guy who created the letter J, started playing with the letter I and curved it. And so that was not the Lord's name, and that is not what you call the sons of Judah,
Gian Giorgio Trissino.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 1524 when
Right.
Gian Giorgio Trissino, an Italian Renaissance grammarian known as the father of the letter J, made a clear distinction between the two sounds.
Yeah, so he created it and added another letter to the alphabet, the same way that and then yes, you get your term Jewish, and then they also turned around and added those same Edomite lettering, alphabets, those long long vowel sounds to the Hebrew, because there is no A, no long A sound, no long E sound, no long U sound or a V sound. It's perfect. But now I'm looking at it right. There is no Yehudi, it's Yahweh.
That's right. Right. And it just happened to have it from the last lesson. That's the spirit. Yah, ha, wa, da, yah. All right. If you was going to say Judah by itself would be, like you see down here, Yahweh da, Yahweh da. All right. When you say Yahweh da, Yah, that means a Judite. Okay, where you would commonly now say a so-called Jew. All right. And you'll see.
So the terminology Jew is a made up construct, the same as white and black.
Mm-hmm.
Those are made up constructs, even when the Bible talks about the Jews, and I'm only saying that so people will understand what we're saying. But when it talks about Yahweh or the Judites' complexion, when it says that they're black, it just really meant that they were dark skinned, because we've told you 1,000 times and then one, 1,000,000 times and then one, that there's no such thing as black people. Even the darkest people you ever see, as dark as they are, they're still brown. When you look at dark chocolate, dark chocolate can be very dark, but it's still brown.
Yeah.
So that's a social construct which they've used to confuse people with. All right, and so we're gonna play this video. And I think what is about a 45-minute video. We're not gonna play the whole video. We'll probably, play about 15 to 20 minutes of it, and maybe jump to the end, and just bring out some scriptures, some commentaries, just to clarify, some things, some of the mistakes that he says. But we're also gonna highlight a lot of the truth that he says. He speaks a lot of truth in this video, and none of it is anti-Shemitic. Although some people are going to try and say that, and he never said anything derogatory about these people. He just showed receipts and evidences of their activities, and that's just the thing. These people, they don't want a light shine on them, and anytime you bring up a fact about any part of their history that doesn't go along with what they've pushed, because it's true, they do control the mainstream media. They do control most of the textbooks that are in the schools and colleges was controlled by them, by their organizations and their people. All right, so they made sure to what was in the books and what was in the books and what was taken out, and things of that nature.
The narrative itself.
They control the narrative, exactly, brother. I just watched a TikTok video, of another display of how how the news media, across the country and across Europe were all saying the same thing. And then they would play this, and then they would play it all in unison, over 500 different channels all saying the same thing. If you can't tell that there was a mass text or email that went out, there was a script that went out to all these platforms, that they all say the same thing. There's no such thing as independent journalism. That's a myth. That was 30, 40 years ago, all right? All right, so if you would, anybody got a scripture they want to bring out before we roll this video?
I have that definition on there, just something about black, which is shachar. It says a primitive root identical to 878:36 to the idea of duskiness of early dawn, to be dim or black in color. So it's not, dim or dark in color. It don't mean black as in what they keep on trying to do. Black Hebrew Israelites. Dark skin.
Yeah, and then that word black itself is extremely negative,
right.
when you actually look up into the word. All right.
Get another chair. Could you grab your cup? And, this one.
Just bear with us for a moment. We're trying to get situated.
I'm going to put on the disclaimer then, so no one had a scripture.
No.
All right.
Well, I got one real quick. If someone could grab 2 Ezra 6, 27, 28, is one of my favorite scriptures, and it's fitting to almost every lesson these days.
You said start at 27?
27, 28.
All right. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. It says, for evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared.
Right, that scripture almost sounds like a symphony to me. It's so beautiful because it's so appropriate to damn near every lesson that any of the Hebrew Israelite brothers do. Right. One more, how the things of Esau searched out. That Obadiah.
Yeah.
This is Kazakh Banya Howard, Revelations 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And that's the reason why these small hats they're scared. They're doing everything in their power to try to debunk and to throw misinformation.
They're on their way to being exposed. They already are. We've already done a thorough job of it. Mm-hmm. But we knew that Isaiah 38, 34, and 8, the controversy of Zion was going to go mainstream, and now it's here. That's right. This is it. That prophecy is coming to pass right now.
That's it.
Obadiah 1 and 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?
Your secrets, the secret meetings. Matter of fact, the so-called Bilderberg, with the Bilderberg meetings and Bohemian Grove, whatever, that was top secret for years, where only 1% of the elite knew about it.
Well, that's why they going after your man,
Alex.
And he's, I believe he's really an insider. Yes, he's just playing both sides of the fence, and they're using him so they can, kind of warn people. And
he's a shrill.
Yeah, exactly. He's set up.
I got a scripture.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Psalm 64 and 8. So that they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So like you say, he's just part of the setup so that they can, they Talmudic doctrine that they have to declare something before they do the evil so that they can say that.
Well, they want to be as if they're God, but that's part of their downfall.
Well, you know what? Never mind. I'll hold this and bring this in for after the video.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah 49 and 11. It's like in verse 10, it says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Because your man Ye is about to, he really did go DEFCON 3, in which, and Miss Curtis, all that meant was he was going to tell the truth.
That's right.
It didn't mean that he was going to do you physical harm.
Right.
So if you can't figure that out, I'm highly disappointed in you. But go ahead.
I got scripture.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 10, verse 26. It says, fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known.
Wow, and I couldn't think of that scripture this morning to save my life. But yeah, read it, call it and read it again. Bible shop.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 26. Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
Right, and you know, and the brother Lahab here said some prolific stuff last week. And I use it all week in conversation and videos, and it was very prolific. But the brother said, "Hey, look, every lie has an expiration date." You know, and it's true. Every lie does have an expiration date, and the fact that we are the Israelites and that they are not, the lie that they're claiming to be the house of Jacob when they're the house of Esau. Mm-hmm. It's over.
What proof of them being full of shit is when you expose them, how they react to it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they, you know, if it was so silly, they would just laugh at it and ignore it. But see, they can't ignore it. They have to try to defend their lie by telling more lies. That's right. And you know, now that they got this web of lies, it's falling apart. But hold off. Let's get this video going so we can really bring out scripture.
Before read this copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational person use tips that balance in favor of fair use, and this is for educational purposes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. And yeah, that DEFCON 3 increase in force readiness above that required for normal readiness. It's all about being prepared for an attack.
That's it.
That's
nothing more. And he didn't even mean it in that fashion. What he really meant was, I'm about to tell the truth. That's it. That's what it meant. Nothing
exactly
else. Because truth is very devastating
to the wicked.
To is very devastating to a people whose whole existence is based upon lies.
So, like we're saying, in the world of universal lies, telling the truth will be a revolutionary act.
That's right.
Mm.
There it is.
On here, our numbers went through the roof. I mean, we were, whew. And let's just for people that don't know, the man is a genius, musical genius, lyrical genius, fashion icon. He can wear a rubber shirt, and you're gonna wear it. That's how influential he is. Right now, last time he came here, he said, "Cancel me." He pointed to himself. He said, "Cancel me." They did not cancel him. They could not cancel him. Right now, it's a little turmoil. We're going to get to it. We're going to ask the questions. We're going to do whatever. I asked him if anything's off the record. He said, absolutely nothing. But we're going to give praises and love to the one, the only, Mr. Yeah, make some noise! Now, yeah, I want to start because, you know, the very famous interview is U.S. Way, right? And then you saying that you want to be like Ralph or you want to be up there with that caliber. And now it's like you are Ralph. You are that caliber. And then so I guess what I'm trying to say is, so that's where we get confused with I got the answers. You already missed where the answer. But I guess that's where we get confused with the Adidas part of it is because like that's how you became a billionaire, right? Through the Yeezy. So like what was the discrepancy with Adidas?
You know, I just didn't have the relationships with the factories at that time, and I was managing a lot of ideas. Like I was a new dad. I was newly married. I had a bunch of team, like a big team of designers with me, and we had established who we were. We were still fighting to get our respect in fashion. So there's a lot of fights at the same time. So we had to go and basically like intern almost onto these companies. We interned Louis Vuitton at one time. Yeah, okay. Louis Vuitton, Fendi, and we interned in a way at Adidas. I like the licensing deal was my intern to become, you know, more in that Bernard Arnault, Bezos, Elon territory, and just understanding how to, you know, how money works. Like this is first generation like we say, like Jay with the do say, this is first generation wealth.
And learn those infrastructures, right?
Yeah, the infrastructure is how to do a factory. Even right now, like when I left Gap, I moved. We made this T-shirt, like all the tremendous stuff we're doing right now, which is a flip on Supreme, where the guy that used to work for me, Tremaine, is now at Supreme, and we can go further into that. The main point is, so I took it over to Dove Charney at LA Apparel, and he founded Los Angeles Apparel. So then we made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEF CON tweet, now he ain't releasing the tees because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making. Like, Jewish people have owned the Black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt.
If I may say,
Go ahead, bro.
now the fun thing about America, it talks about so-called free speech. In free speech, they say that right now I can identify as a cat, and I can bring up charges on the school because you're not providing me a litter to shit and piss in. I can go ahead and identify as a tree. You motherfuckers can marry a tree. I've seen bitches marry a tree.
Yep.
You can say this and say that, and everybody's allowed. Matter of fact, you can go YouTube right now and pull up nigga songs. You can go pull up so-called banned racist cartoons. You can say everything you want to say. But as soon as he wants to do and defend himself, a business deal that got nothing to do with his content of his personal feelings is being put on down, and makes me think of the scripture to take away the right of my people. All right, and I'll pull it up real quick, because here in America we don't have rights because we're still slaves. And ye, Kanye or Ye or whatever how you want to pronounce it, he's still a slave, and you're coming against your the water, brother. Got you, kind of, and the pop up whole kind of shit. All right, kind of 10 and 1, perfect. All right, I'll just get with it. Isaiah 10 and
What
1.
are you looking for, Ken? You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah 10 and 1, and it reads, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless." And so you're taking away his right to produce and take care of himself, his right to so-called free speech that everybody else can talk, but we can't talk as long as we come against the establishment. All right? It's a double standard that Esau is being exposed for.
Okay. This is Isaiah 29 and 21. They make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproves the negate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. So, for a word, even if that word is just simply speaking the truth, all right, they'll make you an offender. You question some of the stuff that happened, around particular events that happened in World War II that don't add up, and the math doesn't match. It just doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add
It's
up.
not math. That's what they say nowadays. The math not math.
The math is not math, right?
That's right. That's right.
So when you talk about the time that it takes to actually cremate a body, and then the amount of bodies, and and different evidences that make the numbers, that in certain events not add up.
Lack of bones.
Yeah. So
Right.
The chemical found is to kill off Lyme disease.
So when these things are brought out and they're not lies, you just get blasted with your anti-Shem. Your anti-Shemite.
Anti-Semites. They don't even pronounce it to their whole. They're gonna say Sem is pronounced same, and you're Greek and shit. Why you ain't saying that?
Yeah. So it's just bullshit. And like I said, at the Wadi Yahweh, that this is now mainstream.
That's right.
Because this is a fight that they cannot win. So we're getting to the point where Esau is just going to have to reveal himself and just use his blessing, which is a sword. And the moment that he uses his sword, it's over for him, because the Lord's going to step in and do what he's going to do. And we're getting dangerously close to that time.
Like you said, when Esau make his move, the Lord will make his.
Exactly.
No, in there, we about to crack the door right now.
Oh, okay. Good. This thing means like
No. No, that's why the spirit got me because I was all these heat, all these bodies.
Bodies, yeah. Because I was
A
thinking
little bit
about
more.
myself too.
It's gonna go
No,
off.
no, no, it's all good.
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah, you
Yeah,
good.
it's
Bro.
That's right.
Yeah,
I will play a little bit more, right?
Or is all of us being signed to a record label, or having a Jewish manager, or being signed to a Jewish basketball team, or doing a movie on a Jewish platform like Disney? And we understand it's like I respect what the Jewish people have done and how they brought their people together. You know, they came into money through the lawyers when after Wall Street, when all of the like the Catholics, they wouldn't divorce people.
Right.
So the Jewish lawyers came.
And we said this off camera when we first started. If you go back into the Rothschilds and the international bankers, that's how they got the money. They got it from the Napoleon. They wouldn't
Bowers.
from
The
insider
Bowers.
trading.
They insider trading.
Yes.
They staged a lie, and when people reacted to it, they bought up all the stock and pennies on the dollars and made themselves richer than any person had ever been.
That's right.
And that's how they got dominion and power.
And then they established the Bank
And
of
then they
France,
established
the Bank of London, the Bank of Germany, and all. I think it was like 5 banks, I believe, they established at the time.
The Five Brothers.
Right, the 5 brothers, and each one starts the bank, and from there, the central bank started to spread. Now, every single country now has a central bank.
And the
that
ones that
loans
don't are at odds against native
Con.
power.
That's right.
Con.
That's right. And
Not because of anything, because they don't have a central bank.
that's right.
That's
And
what it comes down to.
you loan money, and they have to pay it back in interest, and they can never pay back the interest because they end up getting more loans before they can pay it back. So it's compounded upon compounded. And then the bankers say, look, if you want more money, you got to do this. You got money. That's why the Meyer Bauer said, give me control of the money. I care not who is king.
Yeah.
And ultimately, all this is the will of the Father. This is the prophecies of the Father, right? And those are the elites of the nation of Esau, Edom, all right? The wicked that the Bible speaks of, all right? They are the elites of them that's running shit, that's ruling.
And this is they having.
Matter of fact,
that's it.
can I land back on what you said?
Yes, sir.
He just said that you either signed by a Jewish label, you work for a Jewish team, or you got to go to a Jewish bank, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Well, that makes them extremely opposite of the prophecy of the
Con.
Israelites having no power and being on the bottom.
Yes.
It says that they will be on the bottom in every society that they're in, and these people clearly aren't on the bottom.
Right.
All right. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 44,
Uh-huh.
and it reads, "They shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him."
Oops.
So what black person is signed a Jewish person?
Uh-huh.
What black bank of Jewish people going to?
That's it.
All right. Come on now. It says, that he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Mm.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. We're the tail end of everything.
Con.
There's more.
See, because what he said, that those are the heads. Because we got to go to them.
We gotta go to them, which makes them not fit prophecy.
They don't fit
But they
this.
do fit the prophecy of being the wicked. And
Exactly.
they also fit the prophecy of Ezekiel 36 and 5. But here we go. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Matter of fact, somebody can get that Ezekiel 36 and 5. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Ooh, so that's that curse that's upon the Israelites. The true.
Forever, until the Lord comes back and redeems them from that state. They're gonna be the borrowers and not the lenders.
That's what the Bible
So you
says.
can't be a Jew and be a lender.
Exactly.
It says, you hear that, Michael Rappaport, Sarah Silverman?
Yep.
You know?
GN Bank is the last black-owned bank in Chicago. It is also the last black-owned bank in the state. and one of just 19 black-owned banks in the entire United States. And you talk about the other banks, you got hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of other banks owned by multiple,
Shell corporations and things.
Jewishes.
Yeah.
But so the black banks are still not owned by black people. It's federal money. It's
And
owned.
the-
It's
so-
controlled
see,
by
look
them.
at- see,
So
now-
they
see,
still
now-
control
so
it.
now you want to go to the next step
Yeah.
because they still playing in the Federal Reserve note, which is actually a note owned by the Federal
Exactly.
Reserve, and they can call their notes back
And the
at
Federal
any
Reserve
time they
is
want.
owned and controlled by a Jewish family.
Exactly.
I got this.
Exactly.
Hey, so however you cut this pie,
Right.
they're not fitting the prophecies of being the borrowers and being on the bottom, and they're not wearing that curse.
They can't make the tally.
No matter how bad you want to make a commercial with some old woman with a scarf on her head, and
Help
the violin
them.
playing,
Exactly.
you know,
Right.
no man.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you play their game, like a lot of our
Yeah,
people
fit
are
on the
playing,
bullshit.
yeah, if you play their game though, then they'll give you some of these contracts. They'll allow you to have a couple of dollars, even if it's $1 billion. You know.
Hey, the
What you call it a baby B.
And
He
then
called it a baby billion to let you know that that billion is really nothing.
Exactly.
He's still under. Hey, he's still under them. He was
As a
in
matter of fact-
limits.
Salaki, bro, I just want to say this real quick. As a matter of fact, I think that the brother, like I said, I still believe he's an agent for them. That I think that they are giving him a hard time, but that's just my opinion. But one thing I noticed too, that which aggravated me, and Yaki brought it up as well, is that he had this big manly Israelite beard, this ancient man beard, like even in Renaissance art, they showed all the men of Israel, even though they showed them false, they showed them all with hair on their face, with beards. It's a righteous thing to have hair on your face, and now all of a sudden,
He's gone.
his beard is gone.
His beard is gone.
So I still think that I don't trust, even though I'm liking the things that he's saying, what he's exposing, but I still believe that he's still being used.
Manipulated.
I
That's
believe
right.
that 100% because when he's speaking here, basically he spilled the beans. He just said flat out, but he still is expecting Trump to run 2024, and this seems like a whole part of getting the rights to go against the left and saying Trump is this superhero. He's speaking against the media. He's speaking against these Jewish dudes. He's speaking against what's the problem with America. He made it clear that that's why he got 2024 head on. He goes to that whole little thing. Like y'all Trump supporters gonna be there to support me when this shit happens.
Right, and now he's standing shoulder to shoulder with Candace Owens all of a sudden.
He trying to get
Right.
Who also, and Candace Owens, whom I hate and love at the same time. Because one thing I can say about Candace, because outside the fact that she's a bad wench for Esau, but one thing she does do is she does something that we do. She speaks against niggerdom in black culture, because black culture is a destructive culture. It's nothing positive about it.
It's not. The man said, his Jewish friend hit him up, said, let's go to the Holocaust Museum. He said, let's go to the Planned Parenthood. That's our Holocaust Museum. And Candace Owens speaks against that fucking Planned Parenthood shit, man. I got a couple. I got one for you. This is Rock 13:3. The rich man have done wrong, and yet he threatened with all. The poor is wrong, but he must entreat also. So, people think poor is based off money. Partially it is, but it's really a condition, man. Kanye is still counted as the poor. That's why he was in the back of that limo in his own film, basically holding the food
Plate,
yep.
Yep.
Might do to eat off of him, man.
That's it.
That's why he called it a baby billion. He's still in subjection to these dudes, man.
That's it.
And that's why they can cancel this fucking Chase account. All right, while there's people smuggling the money, do all type of shit, cleaning their money through Chase. Chase ain't stopping them.
Chase got caught. What did a couple years
The
ago?
cargo ships.
They had containers full of cocaine.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right.
That disappeared.
And then
That disappeared.
It went away in a week.
Yeah, and nobody got in trouble. Nobody got arrested. Jamie Dimon didn't get slapped in handcuffs. None of that.
No pictures of the sheriffs up there showing the big bust and
Exactly.
all this stuff. None of
The
that.
war on drugs, all that
So
shit.
this goes directly with the quote. To know who's ruling the people, see what you can't speak about.
That's right.
So the rich, they're not on top. You can't speak about them. They can do wrong, and he can still cut your ass out. But let you be wronged and you poor, you still got to treat. You still got to seek favor. if thou be for his profit, he will use these. So he'll let them get a baby billion. It's just USDs. They're not taught how to actually get real wealth, get
Generation.
gold, and do this and shit. Right? They're not taught
You'll
that.
never see them reach the T level.
Mm-hmm.
The billion is because he's at this point, Kanye is the richest so-called black man in the history of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yep. And
he's still poor.
And Forbes didn't even want to mention the nigga.
That's right.
He's in control.
You're right. You got some more?
Yeah. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? He will shame thee by his meat. So he's going to get you to follow his ways, bring you down fucking low. All right, get you to promote wickedness. All right, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. And at the last, he will laugh thee to scorn afterward. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in thy jollity, man. So they're using niggas to appease other niggas, you know, make it seem like, oh, it's all fair. Look, he made it.
Right.
Meanwhile,
he's a token ass nigga.
Yeah, and meanwhile, yep, a token nigga. He said it. See, you know, he said it before. He called himself a token black in one of his songs before. So he understands that. Even if you're in a bench or a nigga with a coupe, you know? So they'll let you, you know, get some jollies and stuff, man. But the meanwhile, you gotta promote and do shit to fuck the rest of your people up, man.
Yes,
right.
This devil, he's did a diligent search.
The Bible talks about the true men of the Lord, the true prophets, ridding our people from the grasp of the wicked. It says, you know, rid them from the hand of the wicked, because the wicked has our people's minds. All right, they're controlling and ruling over their minds. All right, and that's what government means.
That's right. To rule the mind.
To rule the mind.
That's it.
So here it is. We can't govern ourselves with our ways. Just like I was saying yesterday, we can't exact the Most High's righteousness here in a wicked world. All right, because those who's truly in power, who the Most High got in power, which is the wicked for a time, all right, they are the ones that's ruling right now. And if you come against, you know, how they can try to control your mind with their wickedness, if you come against that, then they make you the bad guy. And then since they control all the media and this, that, and the other thing, they put it all out on those platforms, like, and then control the mind of the people, like, hey, they are bad. You know what I'm saying? When we come with this truth, okay, and even with Kanye, all right, some truths that he would come out with, they would deem him crazy. They would deem him, you know, what the hell is wrong with him? He's going off the cuckoo's nest and, you know, this, that, and the other thing to make people, now you see just regular other people like, yeah, he done gone, Kanye done gone crazy. He a genius, but man, he going crazy.
Because they don't do no research. And they don't do a diligent search to get understanding.
He actually called out some sellouts. He mentioned them by name.
Yep, that released the information.
He actually said some niggas that's in league with Esau, he put them on blast.
And because they are.
He said, fuck you niggas.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, see, the thing is, Kanye can't fight Esau because Esau got the power that you just mentioned, that he was set up by the Lord.
Right.
And the Most High is going to take Esau down. Somebody can get real quick. Amalek. We're going to war from Amalek.
And kind of, his problem also, Amalek generation. His problem also is he's still friends with he's not friends. He's still served Mammon. He ain't saying this shit to wake Jacob.
Right.
He's saying shit because he pissed off at his business deals. And he pissed off at how they treated him. That's why he's saying all this. He ain't doing this to help us, man.
Right. That's right. Because first of all, you're not gonna be in bed with Donald and going out and following him and MAGA 2024 if you really care about your people. If you really care about being Israelite, why would you cut your beard off? That you grew your beard out just to make a token statement?
Why he not promoting the name of the Lord?
He's not because
Why he not telling our people to repent?
and they said that happened in 2024. It should say Yahweh.
Right.
With Yahweh Shai. It should say that we're the Israelites, man. He's not pushing that. He just used that to expose them. But the Lord is using you, Kanye, and he's using Esau in this battle right here to promote his agenda.
Yeah, because
right?
a lot of Jacobs gonna see this and then they gonna go into
niggas fuck with Ye.
Yeah, that Kanye's going across the whole fucking.
Come on, bro. Then you sent the article in the Haaretz, and they had a whole long article. That article goes really in on. They even talking about One West, Abba Bivens, the whole nine. That it's like that's to the Israeli people. All right. This is worldwide right now. That's why this is hot topic right now. But the Lord is using this to bring more light upon who we are, so the prophecies can come to pass.
Nobody's gonna have quick to back what you set up. It's Philippians 1:15. Some indeed preach Mashiach, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. The one preached Mashiach, which is the Hebrew word for anointed. We avoid this C word that's an idol. All right, the word Messiah comes from the word Mashiach, means anointed. The one preached Mashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposed to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Here's the point. What then, notwithstanding every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Mashiach is preached, period. And I therein do rejoice, yeah, and will rejoice. So it still serves a purpose. All right, because people are going to see him mention the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and whoever's meant to hear the actual truth, the real truth, not this bitter waters or sweet waters, truth and lies. To hear the actual truth, they're going to end up on Great Millstone or Men of Valor or DTA, one of the videos and get edified, man, and wake up, man. That's it. You can do nothing against the truth before the truth.
That's right. You got it?
Yes, sir. This is Exodus chapter 17, verse 16. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
And now the chief of Amalek is this Rothschild guy right here. I put into the Google, which banks do Rothschilds own? The Rothschilds control the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve.
Which means whoever's printing the fucking US dollar. Man.
That's it. The European.
In every country, they make their own personal
currency
transactions with each other. Mm-hmm. They use the USDs, man.
That's it. That's it.
All right.
The Federal, it's still the reserve currency of the planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yep. The European Central Bank, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank and the World Bank for International Settlements, they also own most of the world's gold, as well as the London Gold Exchange, which sets the price of gold every day. And that's going back to January 17, 2020, when this was put up. Now, the thing is, if you understand this alone, they're not trillionaires. When I say it,
the man has got his own money. The man has got his own money.
He's not a trillionaire.
Right.
He's not a quadrillionaire.
They're liquid.
He is money.
They don't need no money.
He is money.
Yeah. They don't need to go in and be like, oh man, I purchased this. No, whatever they want, they say, I want that. That's what they get.
And they are money.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
All right.
They don't need no
So
money.
how can Ye with his funky 2, 3, 4 bill,
his baby bill,
he's not gonna do no dent on nothing. Because first of all, Esau is known for hostile takeovers. Now, a hostile takeover is someone who has more equity, more liquidity than you, can just come out and buy out all your stockholders, all your equity, and guess what? It was your company,
your shit.
And now it's not your company.
Well, look at what happened. Chase canceled his accounts. He put 125 million, I believe, 120 something million in Chase, and they get rid of his ass. Not because he committed a crime, not because they freezing his assets, which Esau can do that really. Esau's in power. They can just freeze your assets. Now you just fuck.
They did it to
for an indeterminate amount of time too. Tate, fresh and Tate,
Andrew Tate.
They doing it with the whole country Russia.
Yeah.
They can do it to the whole country. Who the fuck are you, one individual, man?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, who you thought you was? This Proverbs
20.
This Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. So the rich are the ones that control. Everybody else are they fucking slaves. Man.
That's it.
Point blank. Period. Kanye West is a slave.
That's it.
All right. We are fucking slaves, captives, man. Simple, man. You niggas not fucking free. If you free, all right, then why you paying a fucking land tax? Oops, you niggas don't even got no fucking land. They paying shit. You paying rent, nigga. You don't even own. You don't own shit.
No,
you don't even own your goddamn children.
That's it.
I got a preacher the back.
That's why the Esau made your ass get with the backs, man. If your child come to you and say, well, Daddy, I don't want to be a boy anymore, I want to be a girl. If you don't get them hormones, Esau can take your fucking child away, nigga.
That's it, man.
You don't own shit.
That's it.
I got to preach on this Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So no matter even if you got $1 billion,
That's right.
all right.
Hey, so Bill Cosby had a billion.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to him?
Yeah.
Locked his ass up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made an example out of him.
That's
Because
it.
he tried to operate within their system. Because Bill Cosby is doing it, you know, all these stories about all these sexual things allegedly that happened
30 years ago. Past the statute of limitations.
40 years
40,
ago.
50
Past
years
the
ago.
statute of
30 years
limitations.
ago.
man.
Hell, you got shit going on with the president right now. Hell, you got a whole black list of you know, from Epstein.
Epstein and Gazelle.
You know, it matter. Where's the RICO Act on that?
What was pizza?
You know, I saw that list of names.
That's right.
Matter of fact, a lot of people saw the list of that name. There's a lot of prominent.
Right.
There's a lot of prominent the Hollywood people and world leaders
That was on that.
that's on that list.
That's right.
Where's the RICO Act on that? You know, but why are their money not being taken? You know, hell, as a matter of fact, someone put up an image of Jay-Z and Beyonce was like 15 at the time, and he was like 27, 28.
Yeah.
Same thing with Foxy Brown.
You know?
Jay-Z was fucking Foxy Brown when she was
But
15.
and they didn't do that to Jay-Z, all right? Because and then they put it up next to the picture with Aaliyah and R. Kelly.
Right.
So you know, and then, don't get me wrong, man. R. Kelly was a wicked nigga, but he ain't did nothing that all these other Hollywood people didn't do.
Elvis.
You know, hell, the Great Balls of Fire dude. Matter of fact, when he banging like a 12 or 13 year old,
Yeah.
his own cousin or something. Yeah.
So hold on, Hugh Hefner had the issue with the nine. I believe she was 9 years old.
Yeah, she was like, no.
So there's just different.
Yeah.
This also proves that there's a different set of justice and rules for Israelites in this society and for Edomites, especially if you're Amalekite, if you prescribe to the Amalekites religion of Judaism, which is not biblical.
No.
If they really, how can they go? Hollywood stars was on the Epstein list and stuff.
Yeah.
How can they freeze all their bank accounts?
Exactly.
I'm gonna read it again. Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, ends to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord Yahweh.
And we were appointed to that, right? You just said for a reproach,
For a curse.
for a curse, for all these things.
Subject to payment.
Yep. So no matter, even if you sold your soul, no matter if you sold out, no matter if you were just under their vibration and you was about their, rules and regulations and what they call moral. If you was about that, then they'll give you a couple dollars. But guess what? You still in captivity, right? And anytime you grow a backbone, anytime you get a conscience, and realize like, man, you could come to the knowledge of the truth, and then you speak this truth.
They do a bug breaking.
They about to blacklist you, blackball you, blackmail you.
They do a bug breaking.
Well, I mean, you think about it, Chingy,
Right.
what's his name? Nick Cannon,
Mm-hmm.
Ice Cube,
Yeah.
who was up? Tiffany Haddish, right?
Oh yeah, she said she got shit. They took everything.
What's my man name? The rapper dude out of LA, he's real talented out of Compton.
Not the game.
No, not the game.
We're talking about
Kendrick Lamar.
All right.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. He that album. He's not talking like that no more.
Well, they shut him
That
up.
was a Kodak Black, but that was a very powerful. Because their people actually came in the truth because they heard that they started researching.
They shut
When,
them down
you
real
know,
quick.
they had the little thing from the guy from IUIC saying that the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of the Bible or something, the Israelites in the Bible, you know, in one opening of one of his songs. And then he had the line when he said, "Don't call me black no more," you know, I'm an Israelite, you know, he something to that, and it was true. Yeah, well, Kendrick Lamar is extremely talented. He really is, man.
And
He's one of the best artists
he
out there.
still says money is still money to get. It still holds the fuck. In the same breath, he
In the
said
same
that
breath.
because these niggas are sellouts. This is Zechariah 11:5. Esau only using them because, as he explained about Nike, he was explaining, but you had to hear the first time he explained it about Nike being this company that's on the list 300. They on the list. They're like 300 something on the list, but they're as popular as Apple. But their mission is to get Jake to consume this, to do this, it's to influence Jake. Same reason why he even got signed to Gap. It wasn't for Gap to get extra stocks. It was to influence motherfuckers. All right, he mentioned the Kardashians being used to influence Jake to get the vaccine, right? This is
That's why they always use Jake and get commercials, everything.
Yeah, that's why niggas is talking about fucking Watt. You think niggas knew what Watt hurt was? Niggas, the actual medical term for the shit, Watt hurt, which is a brand of lean. No, Esau pushed them niggas to do that shit to get you to go off, man. This is Zechariah 11:5. Who was possessed to slay them and hold themselves not guilty, talking about Edom. And they that sell them say, "Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich," and their own shepherds pity them not.
Come on, bro.
So Edom possessed, they say, "Look, we not, how are we guilty? These niggas are going off." And who gets us to go off? Our own shepherds, our own so-called leaders, the rich amongst Israel, got niggas to go off, man, have no pity. They bless the Lord because they got some fucking paper. Meanwhile, you selling out your whole nation for this shit, man. All right? You get mad, so now you want to rant and speak against these damn small hats. Whole time, you still in league with these niggas, man.
That's right.
You still put a White Lives Matter shirt on, which, you know, I'm gonna give me one of them shirts. But that's a whole nother reason.
Okay.
All right? But these niggas are fucking sellouts, man.
Got scripture for you.
Y'all work for Edom, man. You're gonna die with Edom.
And the scripture says, "Be not unequally yoked with unbelievers, man." Your ass is all in their pockets, man. You push their whole agenda, man. So we ain't fooled by you, gay. All right.
Kind of scripture.
They got $1 billion.
This is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with the covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So this is, like you said, like Benji said, like you brothers was bringing out. He's not mad because of the fact of the injustice. He's mad because his contracts ain't standing up. His business deals ain't standing up now.
And he mentioned his concert getting canceled. He pissed about it.
Yeah, so why were you pissed just for your people before that?
Right.
You know, so, you know, now that he's getting scrutinized and that they're, you know, because he's not playing ball with Esau, now all of a sudden he's got a problem. See, and that's what's going on with DeSantis. You know, Esau don't like it when people that they set up, because we know that every person that's put in office is set up at this point. All right. And the governor of Florida, he came out and made the statement about a week ago after he got blasted with HARP, that he said that 84% of the people that have died in Florida from ages 18 to 39 did not die of COVID, that they died from the vaccines. That's what the governor said. All right, and I'm thinking, well, damn, they just gonna hit you again, you know, because this guy just refused to play because didn't the brothers down there get witness? They've never seen it this bad.
Right.
Lots of older people who've been alive a lot longer than the brothers in the camps in Florida are all saying the same thing. It's never been this bad. And then I found out about that machine. What's it called? The XBE. That gigantic machine that's on the water. They use barges to move around.
Right.
You know, I saw the video. Said this is how you make a hurricane go
Two
from
to
a
a
category
4.
2 to a 4.
Yep.
All right. So if they aiming shit like that, and then just the other day, Christopher Green, was on, crying a sign, you know, about Christianity and whiteness. All right, but Christopher Green was on, and he stated how the government had just admitted that they manipulate weather with machines.
Of course.
And when the men of the great millstone and the brothers that teach the likewise doctrine have been telling you that for years, man. You know that they aim, you know, them damn all that poison that they spray daily, they ain't got no money, but you know, and all this other shit. They ain't got money for schools and neighborhoods, but they got money to keep them planes in the air spraying that shit in the sky 24/7, 365.
But you know, years ago, I mean, even when we was on 87th and Cottage and that green cloud slid in and whatnot, and all the lightning was going sideways and everything else. It's like, who's creating this? Who you think's doing that? Okay, we were talking about HARP technology and breaking it down in and telling them.
Jesse Ventura, he had a whole special on conspiracy theorists, and it was two things that came out that's happening now. He talked about the HARP. He actually went there, and it's a bunch of antennas.
Exactly, that popped the ozone.
They said we can make it rain anywhere in the world. We shoot radio waves. We agitate the ions in the atmosphere, and we can make it rain anywhere. And he asked about if they want to make earthquakes, they just turn it upside down. And then they also had a lady that was telling everybody. They also had a lady that got on there and said she was leaving the country because they have
that doctor.
They wanted to vaccinate the whole basically the United States.
Yeah, she meet him in like a neutral place, and then she left right again.
And she left the country. So it's not a conspiracy. These things is true.
No, it's a conspiracy. It's not a theory.
It's not a theory,
right?
So
and it's not a lie.
Because people think conspiracy is like not
it's not true. It's a lie.
Conspiracy means con with to aspire to breathe to breathe together. It's something that you breathe together with something you come up with someone else together. That has nothing to do with maybe factual, not factual. All right. They have conspired.
This motherfucker Jesse Ventura went right to them and they said it on fucking TV. We can control the fucking weather. Yes.
You go Google it, they'll tell you. You go Google cloud seed and they'll admit they cloud seed.
Video showing
they don't hide it. All right, but niggas just don't care. They put no value in it. Even got privilege.
And besides, we went to the ultimate source of truth.
Just
laugh out loud. They put it on. They put it on because I'm being facetious, but I'm also being serious. They put it on The Simpsons and they put it in that Illuminati card game. And people want to scoff that Illuminati card game, but all those cards are coming half are coming to pass, man. Right? All these events that took place, you know, a lot of these school shootings and buildings that fell and you know, and mass shootings and shit, all that, you know, events that happened at marathons, all that shit's in that card game. And it's just so ironic that you had all these major things that happened over the last 10, 15 years was in a card game that's what, like 30, 40 some years old now? Almost 50 years old
and
now?
they took it off the market.
Oh, it's still on, it's still on the internet. And you
could probably find them used and people selling them.
You can find the cards all on the internet just on display. They got the whole, they got different kind of sets. Just like they have Pokemon, you get the Pokemon Go, they got different sets, all that shit. They got that shit on there, man.
So it ain't that shit was
I'll have to go to my other
and so whoever put that together was a true insider and they made a game out of it. But then again, we also know through books like what is it called? The Elders of Zion. You know, the Learned Elders of Zion. That sort of thing, which they try to say that, oh, that's just some racist propaganda against Jewish people. But it's just so ironic that the whole book is your whole apparatus morandi. Is it?
Yeah, MO.
That all those things are actually being done.
Well, they created the USSR, the Soviet. What the fuck is this? They little imaginary phone out the Russians and shit. They created shit, the bankers and shit. You know, this ain't. I don't say you hear this. You like to talk about. You believe in conspiracy, but on the news you find Jake. This is got the Jake been missing for weeks and shit, got no fucking organs and shit like that. That's a fucking conspiracy right there.
Or like you said, y'all they set up all these different leaders or whatever the case might be, and it ain't just here in the States; it's worldwide. You know, they set up they set up a puppet government, and then when the guy decides that he wants to do something his own way or whatever the case might be, and do his own gold thing and his own this that and the other, what they do? They smoke his ass.
Muammar Gaddafi is a prime.
Exactly.
He was an ally until he wanted to help his people out and get off the USDs and get the goals going, man.
What movie was that?
Yeah, we'll call him the king of Africa.
Exactly.
Because all these African nations were
following up under him.
But all these African nations were getting behind him.
Yep.
And he was brokering a deal with all these different African nations and so-called
Put them all on gold standard.
We're gonna have a gold-based currency to get around the confusion and affliction or oppression that came with dealing with the greenback.
That's it.
And what's that dude if the white boy played Jackie Chan movie Shanghai Noon? What's that? White boy name?
Owen Wilson, one of the Wilson brothers.
Yeah, he played a movie where the IMF, the countries was he was in Thailand. I guess they rebelled against the IMF and shit.
No Way Out or something like that.
Something like
No Escape.
Yeah, No Escape. Yeah.
Yeah, they had to escape into Vietnam or Cambodia or something like that.
Right. Yep. Because what they do, IMF do, if you don't go by the IMF program, what they do, they target the country, they take over that economy shit, and they hang up that, if I'm not mistaken, hang up that fake ass money and shit like that. And
Yeah.
You don't want to play ball, they take you out.
Yeah, like I said, Gaddafi, Saddam, all of them was set up.
They probably did everything they said to do. Esau wanted to go ahead and cover his tracks. You don't have nobody go ahead and tell him himself. And they do this all the time.
And take the
you go
gold.
get in bed with Esau, and soon you know too much, you might come out and trick off of me later. Like, we got the deal, you did everything, we cool. See everybody, we cool. All right.
The photo shoot over with. Exactly.
The president of Haiti, what happened to him? When he went against a deal.
Oh yeah.
Money shot.
They took him out and then they flooded that deal over there too.
And then they brought in the vaccine.
Yeah, because and it's funny too that Haiti has 0 cases.
Right, zero.
Right.
So what we need it for?
Because they were,
you really need to.
They said we have the scientists are baffled that they, why is it, and Haiti's people from Haiti were
traveling all over the world, exactly.
And et cetera, et cetera. But for some reason, there was no cases of COVID in Haiti when COVID was rampant. All right, and then all of a sudden, after the president died, all of a sudden,
everybody
get in there.
That week. Hey, they didn't waste no time. That week.
I'm gonna read this meme that the brother posted. There are only 3 countries left without a Rothschild-controlled central bank: Iran, North Korea, Cuba. This is the made me really read it right here. Libya is no longer on the list.
So now they got
they got rid of Gaddafi. Of course, Libya got on the list,
and they put it on the list, right? And that's why the whole Cuban Missile Crisis back in the day went down. But guess what? They've been in bed with who? Russia. All right, and that's the reason why they're still not on that list to this day. All right, and that's gonna come back to haunt them too, because they still in bed with Russia. Russia been putting down secret subs and moving all the goddamn around. Y'all know how many things they deposited over there.
And guess what? Hey, guess what? Russia is owned by the small hats, man.
The bankers.
They all work together.
That's what they're behind the scenes. They all like.
Hey, they're trying to beat out, which is crazy when you think that. Look, they want to be as God. They control all things, right? When China devalued their currency, so they can get more exports. All right, which strengthened their currency. All right, it was the IMF who told them to do this. It was the IMF. It's on record.
And one of them told them to do it. What's the guy that movie you gave me? The shoot 'em up movie.
Oh, you shoot 'em up.
What's that guy's name?
He's in Children of Men too, right?
Yeah, he's in Children of Men too, right? Clive Owens.
Yeah,
Clive Owens. He was in a movie about the IMF.
Big nose.
And all these different and all these people kept coming up dead. People who knew too much.
Right.
And he found out it was bankers that was having all these hitmen killing people all over the damn place. Matter of fact, look up the movies he's in. You know.
Then another thing, in The Simpsons, they had a skit.
International.
Yeah, where they was singing "We Do."
Sing that in.
They was singing "We Do," and they was basically breaking it down. They called the Stone Cutters. It's crazy because
read the plot to it.
So they was basically going into how the secret societies set up the governments. They bring out what technology you have, what technology you don't have. He said, who make this guy famous? Who do this? We do. All right, it's going into the elite, man. It's showing that they control both sides of it. They control all these countries because these countries to get funding for war, who do they go to get funding for their weapons? Who do they go to get funding? They go to the small heads.
The IMF, the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve, the international bank.
But these people still telling themselves. What was that movie with Dustin Hoffman, Wag the Tail or whatever that was?
Wag the Dog.
Wag the Dog.
Wag the Dog. The whole movie was around. It was with Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, and what's that little chick that played in the Interview with Vampire when she was little? That chick.
Kirsten Dunst.
And basically the whole movie was about the president having an affair with an underage girl, and the story was about the break. And this was Friday. The story was going to break Monday morning, so they needed to create a scandal between Friday and Monday.
They did a war,
didn't they? And they said, well, presidents don't get replaced during wartime, and they use a green screen,
Exactly.
all right, to fake. And they grabbed up Kirsten Dunst to be an actor to run and with that little rag on her head, make her look like one of them poor little Eastern European girls, had her holding a kitten, running in this green screen. But when they do the film, it looked like it was bombs blowing up and dead people everywhere, and made it look like this horrible war was going on, and it actually led to a real war.
Art imitates life.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened. And so, what people have to understand, it's just like with certain events that happen, like certain school incidents and buildings and things, and when you say, well, it was a conspiracy, or they're crisis actors. What people aren't saying that, oh, well, it was all fake and nobody died. No, the sad part is that in these choreographed events, they actually let people die.
Right.
That's what sells it.
Collateral damage.
All right, collateral damage. And yes, there are crisis actors there. You can't deny it because you can go to all these events and people have put up the evidences, the receipts of certain individuals being interviewed on the news. They were at multiple events. We've laughed and talked about the girl on the cell phone screaming for years. She's been at multiple events where there's been mass shootings and club shootings and bombs blowing up where people are running. All kinds of shit. And her ass is always there. I'm like, so yeah, we laugh and say, anytime you see this girl run, nigga,
Run.
You see her on the scene.
Yeah, that bitch right here in the middle.
Leave, exactly.
Because somebody about to get shot, somebody about to get blown up, you clicked her off, brother.
It's like it's giving her their own.
And it might be
somebody, several people.
Right.
Yeah.
She should have left it the way it was, brother. She was the one in the middle. But yeah, that broad right there, right there.
Right there, same girl.
All right. Yeah, you see her. Yeah, there you go. So you got an event that took place at a marathon. You had thing that took place at a school. You had a nightclub event. You had an explosion in Paris.
And she's everywhere she goes.
And she there on her cell phone screaming and crying every fucking time.
She works in that block.
Matter of fact, that is a little blonde broad. You said that's a little blonde broad in the other picture.
Exactly.
Zoom back out and show it in this way. It says crisis actor exposed. You had it. Whatever you did, it clicked on it. Her, that's her right there. The one at the top.
Yeah.
Tammy must go. Because wherever Tammy show up, because she's just blonde. They changed her hair to blonde.
Hey,
So whatever say, so when you see Tammy run,
emergency roads, Matlock. Every time they be all over the country, no matter where they go, as a crime shows up, they gotta solve the motherfucker. Bitch, you bring the problem.
right? People see you, they should be meeting you with picket signs. Don't come to our town.
Leave us alone.
That's it. Hey, when you touch down in the airport, no, don't get back on the plane.
Right.
No, thank you. We don't get
Right. Every time y'all people come around, there's some Final Destination shit.
That's right. And it's one of the videos that I had to go search for, where they're doing the whole report. Yes, so many deaths. You can see all these body bags and everything, such and such, and then the motherfuckers doing like this, the body bag, like.
Yeah, mama moved in the body bag. Exactly. Mama moved in the body bag.
I'm trying to find a wheelchair when dude got in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
There's an interview and they were setting him up, getting his legs ready.
Yeah.
And
it turns out that dude was already an amputee. So
Right.
they just threw some makeup and shit on him. Because you know what? In that particular event, we not gonna say too much, but in that particular event, you had a medic that came and spoke up and said, "Look, man, I was in Vietnam, and your femoral arteries are here. You get wounded in your femoral arteries, you're done. You're gonna bleed out seconds." And they're running with this guy in a wheelchair with no tourniquets or nothing. Both his legs gone, and him just bleed. Dude, he wouldn't have made it. You wouldn't have made it to the end of the corner before he.
Right. Made arteries.
He would have been in the spirit world.
Those carotids are right here too.
Ain't no way you're gonna lose both your legs with no tourniquets.
Come on,
right? You just, unless someone had a hot ass iron right there
And sealed it.
and seared the wounds.
That's how.
Right?
That's how some.
That'd be the only way you can survive that.
That's it. That's it.
That didn't happen.
Is that cauterized? Cauterizing an explosion happens all the time when somebody get blown. Does that
You
happen?
see a lot of these ad advertisements for crisis actors, man. And everybody will go there and make $150 for a goddamn
Matter of fact,
day.
because people post those up too. And a matter of fact, some of the events that happened recently, someone put up, some of these recent shootings, someone that put up a list of someone asking for crisis actors in that area on that same date. So, this, but yet they'll convince the people on the news that you're silly for saying
Go to
that.
Google. Go to Google and start typing in crisis actor. I was doing it. Let's type it in. It finished it for me. Crisis actor jobs near me.
Oh yeah.
Right now, it's 215 crisis actor jobs available on Indeed.com.
Damn, so a lot of shit about to go down.
30K to 218K. Crisis actor.
Oh shit! I want a job.
You gotta be involved in some deep shit where you can't talk about.
That's it.
30K.
That is.
Sure enough, make you sign an NDA.
Say it again.
I said, sure enough, they make you sign an NDA.
Right. Zip recruiter.
30K to 218K.
Oh, wow.
Crisis actor jobs in Chicago, Illinois, now hiring.
That's crazy.
Okay, why the fuck
In Chicago.
Damn.
Chicago's a hotbed, bro. You got
So
New
now
York on one side.
I've been trying to figure out if it was gonna be New York or Chicago. That shit was gonna go.
It's coming here. Coming
I
here.
don't see this because I don't see California on the list.
What says near me?
I did say.
Oh, okay. We'll put in California because what is it asking? Yeah.
You see what the jobs are too.
Oh, you got it.
So we can stay away.
Which second thing said Markham, Illinois. That was the second a suggestion thing.
Shit.
It's crisis actor home market.
Same thing. 29K to 210K in California. Now hiring.
96 California crisis actor jobs. 25 in Los Angeles. 213 on Indeed. These are crisis actor jobs.
Here's New York. 20 best crisis actor jobs in New York now hiring. Right? So it lets you know
22 jobs. Wow.
Jake is so just gone. It's like the scripture says, they're revolted.
The average American.
Exactly.
Because you'll have this conversation with some proud Edomite American, and they'll scoff you. They'll scoff you.
I'm going back because I want to go see what they got here. I need a job, man. $218.
You do this.
That'll be the easiest work I ever done.
Hey. What did it say?
Hey, that's our crap.
Users, not abusers.
Chicago Actors Fund of America, Entertainment Community Fund, formerly the Actors Fund, and National
They ain't gonna put too much on
Experience working
Nah, they
with
ain't
the
gonna-
crisis intervention model, as well as brief treatment model. Right?
Nah.
No,
These are entertainment communities. Like they can't put too much on it.
Right.
You know, but they still
Yeah,
enough.
you get filled in when you show up.
Right.
Right, you get vetted. I'm sure they vet you.
They had to brief you there.
Yeah, you just go lie in this bag and just stay still for about 15, 20 minutes. We'll pay you $500. Okay, buddy? You know.
And old boy had to scratch his nose and use the bathroom or something.
Are we done? Are we done? Are we done?
They did the same thing for the riots. You know, the Black Lives Matter riots.
They had, yeah. You know, so the people that kick it off.
That's it.
The provocateurs, I will never forget in 2011 when those riots were going on in London. Someone put up that video where the one dude started picking up shit, tearing up shit, throwing garbage cans and breaking out windows to get the crowd going. And when the crowd got rowdy,
He left.
The police line opened up. And he ran behind the police line. He was on the side with the rioters at first. So he was clearly an agent provocateur. And all black, but he had on bright white tennis shoes, which made him easy to see.
Right. So that George Floyd, the police officer in Minnesota, he had in disguise.
Oh yeah, and he was breaking windows.
Breaking into all.
Then he spray painted free shit on the wall.
Yeah.
Right, and then the Jake had a piece of dropped it and was trying to square up with him.
Yep. The Jake said, I recognize him.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I found it. I think I found the one with him opening up the body bag. I'm gonna have to put this one in.
I got me a good ass job.
Hold on. There's glasses right here.
While you getting that, this is Wisdom of Solomon 14:22. Moreover, Wisdom of Solomon 14:22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High. But whereas they lived with the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. All right, so the brother, Elder Wright had Canostla read that Exodus about the war between Amalek and Israel that should go through generation to generation. Right now, that war is it's a war of information, man. It's that war of ignorance, as it calls in the scriptures, man. They lied to us. The 2 Thessalonians said they went out there to deceive the people. Those who got caught, they received the love of the truth. And that's what's happening. Esau set up an entire system, Daniel 7:25, that's contrary to us and the way it should be in the world when we serve Yahweh by Shai properly. All right, Psalm the 2nd chapter goes into it. All right, now the Lord is waking up his elect. Those prophets are standing up, man, and speaking his truth, man, executing the judgment of truth in the gates, delivering our people from the hands of the wicked, like the elder brother Yaki mentioned earlier, man. All right, you can't hide no more. You fucked up. The Lord is taking you down.
Can I read this? This is Apostle Ramblin sent me to by this way he sent his love to all you brothers too.
Shalom.
But this is an insert from the Zion book. That what's the name?
Learn protocols of learned elders.
Jewish Peril Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Yeah. And it says, for the literal word of our Masonic motto, freedom, equality, and fraternity, will substitute not the words of our motto, but words expressing simply an idea. And we will say the right of freedom and the duty of equality and the idea of fraternity. All right? And we shall have the bull by the horns. Point. As a matter of fact, we already have destroyed all ruling powers except our own. But in theory, they still exist.
Wow.
At the present time, if any governments make themselves objectionable to us, kind of like the governor of
Florida, right?
It is not only a formality and undertaken with our full knowledge and consent. So, a lot of controlled opposition. All right. As we need their anti-Semitic outbursts in order to enable us to keep our small brothers in order. I will not enlarge upon this point, for it has already formed the subject of many discussion. So, in essence, what it's saying is that with all the laws that's been set up as regarding anti-Sem or anti-Shemitic, they need that to appease to the emotions of the people to disregard evidences that expose them in order for them to rule over everyone else.
Okay.
That's basically what they said in a nutshell, if you kind of missed it.
Yes.
Keine Treibhausgasreduktionsziele in Österreich seit 400 Tagen. Das ist der offizielle Titel dieser Veranstaltung hier, dieser Demonstration. Organisiert wurde sie von Fridays for Future und die sind generell wahrscheinlich zurzeit nicht sehr gut auf die Exekutive, Legislative und auch die Judikative zu sprechen. Denn vor wenigen Tagen, wenn wir uns erinnern, wurde das Global-Camp gewonnen. Und sehr viele Leute, die hier dabei sind, waren auch schon da dabei. Hier sieht man auch genau dann, diese Protestaktion ist etwas makaber, kann man wohl durchaus sagen. 49 Personen, die liegen hier am Boden, um die Klimatoten darzustellen. Es ist ganz wichtig zu wissen, dass nach einem Berechnungsmodell eben 49 Personen in Österreich täglich sterben sollen an der Klimakatastrophe innerhalb der nächsten Jahre laut dieser Prognose. Und da wurde eben dazu Stellung bezogen. Und zwar mit dieser Protestaktion. Im Hintergrund kann man auch noch sehr, sehr gut erkennen. Klimaschutzgesetz rettet Leben, aktuell Klimapolitik nicht. Personen, die als Sensenmänner verkleidet sind, um ganz einfach darzustellen, dass diese Personen täglich allein in Österreich dann sterben werden, zumindest laut dieser Prognose. Der Veranstalter, das ist auch sehr interessant, dieser Demonstration, und zwar Michael Spiekermann, der war in Glasgow bei der Klimakonferenz live dabei und er hat gesagt, auf europäischer Ebene beschlossen wurde, dass sowohl das erneuerbare Aufbaugesetz
What are you doing? What are you doing?
für die Klimaneutralität
So he blew it.
That plastic, you couldn't breathe in it.
So there it is.
He couldn't breathe. That plastic cut his ass off.
That was a demonstration.
Okay.
That wasn't a crisis active thing. Okay. That was a demonstration, like, you know, the smokers, they be against smoking and they do that shit.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was.
Yeah, that's what this one is. But I don't think this ain't the same one we saw.
Okay, it might be different. It was one where somebody.
Okay, but you still get the picture.
It was
Right.
it was Chinese too. It was some groups they did.
Yep.
It wasn't neat. It wasn't this Russian. I don't know that language. It was some groups they did.
Well, you can actually show you too. That's still wickedness, man. In the government, which would sell and allow poison, something that's devastating to your health as cigarettes when you smoke, and allow people to profit from it.
That's absolutely right.
And guess who's behind that? So, I mean, it's really the same thing when it comes to
You know what's funny? You know who pay for those ads? The fucking cigarette companies.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Jewish way. They gotta tell you they
Exactly.
So they free of whatever consequence that comes. They do evil, it's not their fault. At least I told you.
Yeah, I told you, but you kept buying these Newports, these Camels.
That's it.
What's the rabbi? He was like, "Well, we put it in the McDonald's, the sausages. We tell you."
Yeah.
We tell you, you don't believe us.
That's all over TikTok right now.
They vilify something.
Because there's a TikTok video floating around about McDonald's being caught having human meat in many of their factories and many of their locations. So, and like you said, and Finkelstein told you.
Yeah. He said, we tell them, but you think we're lying. We're not going to eat them. We're not cannibals. We drink the blood. But they're eating their sons and daughters.
You could look at a damn McDonald's burger and tell something off about like.
So, hey, we gonna get ready to close. Right?
Yeah.
Grab that was it Deuteronomy 33:29?
Israel's going to safety alone.
And then we can read the one that Kazak Banya Howard just put up, the second Ezra 6, 8 and 9. Read that one as well.
This is Deuteronomy 33:29. We start 27. The eternal power is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. So you Israelis are still going at it with Palestine to this day, man. Y'all ain't destroyed them yet, weak ass niggas. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Y'all don't, the land don't yield its fruit to you over there either. All right, you have to set up greenhouses to grow shit over there.
Import shit. They have to
import. Yep.
That's madness, man.
And they dying of cancer. They got the highest death of skin cancer in the whole world. Is Israel. Second is Australia.
Yep,
third is South Africa.
Good.
So there you go.
Also, his heaven shall drop down dew. Why y'all don't get the right amount of rain for them crops, man? Happy art thou, Israel, who was like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help. So not some pen and signatures gonna place you in the land. Our Lord is gonna set us up, man. That when you look up when you go into the scriptures, that's what salvation is. Can I get that real quick?
Absolutely.
It's 2nd Ezra 9. All right. The 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse.
I'll respond to that.
Yeah, this 2nd Ezra 9 and 8. I'm sorry, 7. Everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So that's what salvation is. Us getting delivered from captivity, getting our land back. Right. And as Jeremiah 3 puts it, he said, how shall I make them dwell in the land as the sons? He's going to give us a new covenant, new heart. We won't sin no more. We won't have to be cast out of our land again. That's the salvation, man. The Lord establishing a righteous kingdom, as Daniel 7 tells us, all right, ruled by Yahweh Shai and the rest of that government, man. So this is back in Deuteronomy 33 and 29. Happy art thou, Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, all right, the shield of thy help, and who was the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, right, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. So we're going to be safe in our land. Right. All right. In fact, Isaiah says the nation that won't serve us will be destroyed.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we're gonna have to label no anti-Shem shit, man. We don't have to say all that, man. If you come against us, the Lord gonna
smoke that ass.
Right, the Lord gonna jack you up. Right. Or he gonna give the judges the power to go do it. That's right. That's right. However he decides it, however it happens, it's still gonna be through Yahweh.
Yeah, yeah. The scripture said, "A dog shall move his tongue against Israel." Man, that's right. But you ain't gonna cross your mind to speak evil of us, man. Right.
That's it.
It's gonna be dangerous for you to even think it.
Yeah, because you're gonna be too busy trying to serve us and send us the best of your women.
What's
our wrath off of us.
And what's that cliche saying? If you dreamed about that, you better wake up and apologize.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. This is a response to lesson 32. You said, question forehead or right hand grip. When you are branded a slave, most likely by the Chinese military, UPC barcode, Omni mark of the 10. When you talk to M-O-T to the B, whatever, I'm just going to respond to this because it's on the screen. And anybody who needs edification on it. If you don't have an arm, you have a nub because your arms, remember them two guys fighting in the kick MMA, they have no arms, they just kick that silly ass shit. It's like, who does that? Who says for fighting with two guys who got no arm, all they do is kicking each other? They don't put it in your fucking kneecap. They put it in your fucking.
Well, in Walmart and Walgreens, they have a machine that's set up for your person to lean forward and put their forehead in it.
Right. Thank you.
Or their right hand.
Your right hand, forehead.
And everyone has a forehead for the most part. So there it is, man. So that's the answer to your question. All right. Hey, so with that, man, we're going to give all praise, all honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Mikakodash, Abba Babal, Ram Yasharah.
Killed it yet. The head of LA did reach out to me about dude's mom.